I shot the house, standard real estate photography, drone photos, floor plan, delivered everything the next day. Then on Monday, I get a call, tells me my work is lazy, rushed, unprofessional, says I gaslit his wife and even called me a misogynist. Then files a $400 chargeback on a $600 shoot. Hands down the most disrespectful client I've ever worked with. And it led me to lock down my terms and conditions because this was insane. Let me tell you about my client. My name is Cole Connor and I was put here to do 3 things. Create, inspire, love. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it. I had worked with this guy once before. He was a referral from another real estate photographer in Los Angeles. I did a video for him over a year ago. Everything was fine, smooth, he seemed to like it, great. So when he hit me up and said that photographer was out of town, he needed someone fast, I was like, cool, let's do it. This is where I should have known things were not gonna be good. Day of the shoot, they push you back an hour, cool. I had another shoot 2 hours later. Usually this type of shoot would take me 30 minutes, so I figured I had enough time to drive 45 minutes to the next shoot. It's a duo team. The wife shows up. She scatters, says something about their kids' acting class, I don't know. Has a bunch of stuff in her car. She says we're gonna have to go room by room while she does all the staging, which if you're a real estate photographer, you know it's supposed to be done beforehand. I stayed calm, it was fine. I was like, that's not a big deal. I was very patient, very respectful, very professional. The shoot took over 90 minutes. I had to reschedule the shoot after that. That's how long it took. Why? Because they were unprepared. Because they didn't stage the home beforehand. Keep that in mind. I delivered the photos the next day on a Saturday. They didn't respond until Monday. They paid the invoice. Right after they saw the photos, they said, we don't have a great front shot. The sky looks washed out. It happens. Not even that big of a deal. I said, totally fine. Let me know which ones you'd like me to edit. I'll edit them for you. Not a big deal. Without responding, this is also a sign that something's not good. The dude calls me. I don't like to bring ego to my work, really. Honestly, I don't, because what they say, the client is always right, whatever. I've always been like that. I have other outlets for my art that I really care about, and I just try to treat it like a business. This dude came at me so wrong, and I've never had anyone come at me like this. So I couldn't let this one go. Ultimately, on this phone call, he tells me that my photos were rushed. They were lazy. He used the word lazy. And he said that he showed the photos to the other real estate photographer, which I can't even believe as like a peer she would do this. But she also, agreed with him that I missed things. I missed angles that they wanted. They didn't tell me any specific angles. As a real estate photographer, especially, I've been doing this for a while. I'm not perfect. I miss things. Totally fine. If you're respectful, nice, I'm even willing to go back sometimes. Like if I really genuinely made a mistake, I'm totally down to make edits. It doesn't happen often, but I'm down. I would like you to feel good about what you're getting. The other photographer agreeing with him, I just thought it was messed up. I shared it with other photographer friends. They said the photos were great. Other professional photographers who are way busier than the other photographer, they said they were great. They said this is exactly what you should deliver. They also accused me of not having enough photos when it was a 1,500 square foot house and I delivered over 50 photos. And then he asked for a refund. It caught me off guard. I didn't react in an angry way. I just told him, hey man, I'm caught off guard. I've never had this happen before. Whatever photos you would like me to edit, I'm happy to go back and edit because he thought he didn't like the way I edited them either. And I was like, I can edit them in a way, a lot of things are fixed with editing. I told him to send me the photos he wants edited. I ended up texting him that, hey, I wanted to confirm I'm not gonna be issuing a refund. I think this is what really set him off, because then we have to go to my emails. Now I'm gonna read them. I'm probably gonna have to blank or delete some things. I think this could be a useful tool, and I just think some people are crazy. Please take a look at the shots on Zillow, the reference from the property when it was listed previously. Same lighting, same floors, photos pop. They're bright. It engages a viewer. I would like to show you all the photos. And this is probably why I'm gonna have to cut some of the email that I read too. I don't know it's, the best idea. Obviously, if he or if they saw the video, they would know it's about them, but I don't want anyone to guess. So this is how he starts it. Photos pop or bright, it engages a viewer. As a real estate photographer, knowledge of features intrinsic to some architectural styles are expected. Many such shots have been missed, which I attached for quick reference. He lists entry shots, carved paneling. 2 shots, which I included. There was at least 2 shots that include the card paneling. It just wasn't the exact angle that he wanted, which if you want a very specific angle that isn't aesthetically pleasing, you have to request that from the photographer. And I had texted him that I do delete some photos if I don't feel like they're a good fit. He didn't like that. He wanted me to send him every single photo I take, which I don't think most people do. And if you do, you shouldn't. He said, hopefully those shots aren't on the digital, in quotation marks, scrap floor, and you shot the entire house. I mean, I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. I'm getting annoyed at this guy. He's like, everything needs to be brighter. The number one element that attracts buyers is brightness, a key marketing element. Like, bruh, I've been doing this it's just so silly. Some discussed items on location were not taken care of. Weeds in photo. I told her that I would Photoshop some of the weeds since they were going to be pulling them out in the front yard. The backyard was covered in weeds. Why? Because they didn't get their landscaping done. Because they weren't prepared. This is crazy, and I'm getting blamed for it. Another example of a miss, camera light reflection, that plus another one attached appears in one shot. There was a light reflecting from the TV. He said it was a camera light. It wasn't a camera light. I don't even bring lights into these types of shoots. This could contradict the statement that photos had already been fully edited and processed before delivery. Anyways, then he just tells me another shot that he thought. And then he was like, I would like you to add drone shot property identifiers. Which if someone was nice and respectful, maybe I would. This guy? No. Anyways, then he posted just like a ton of photos and he was like, everything he wants changed. Then, this is why, how long is this now? We're at 11 minutes. Whatever. If you're down for the journey, you're down for the journey. And then I responded back. Now, I wouldn't typically do this, to be honest with you. I usually would just drop it. But I just felt like this guy was really out of line, and I felt like it was really unfair. So this is what I said. You can find, I just edited all the things you wanted me to. I said, you can find the requested edits here in your download center. I've brightened the images and included a few alternate angles where appropriate. You mentioned that certain key features were missed, but from what was listed, only 2 specific shots were in question. I reviewed my outtakes and added an alternate entryway image that includes the carved paneling. That particular framing isn't something I would typically deliver, as I don't believe it adds much value compositionally, but I included it to honor your request. This is me trying to explain why I did what I did, even though I don't have to, and maybe I shouldn't have. But I felt like this guy needs to hear there are reasons. To clarify, the reflection in the TV was a light source in the room, not my camera, but I edited it out regardless. I also completed the removal of the front yard weeds as discussed with. The backyard was not included as those types of landscaping adjustments are typically handled by a lawn professional. As I explained to Blank during the shoot, my standard process is to deliver a fully edited, curated gallery. Once the images are delivered, clients can share specific requests, and I'll gladly make reasonable adjustments. That process was clearly communicated and agreed upon. The expectation is not that every possible edit or subjective stylistic preference be preemptively anticipated, but that feedback be offered constructively after review. It's also worth noting having the property fully ready before arrival is vital to a smooth and successful shoot. Last-minute staging and running room to room often impacts both efficiency and image quality, and more importantly, it doesn't reflect the level of preparedness I expect from my clients, especially when it comes to respecting my time and ability to deliver at a high standard. I want to clarify that I'm not the photographer and this part I really didn't need to add, but the fact that he's assuming I'm just like his other photographer is annoying as shit. So I said, I want to clarify that I'm not the photographer you've used in the past. I'm Cole. I have my own process, style, and portfolio, all of which are available for review prior to booking. I shoot editorial style real estate photography with a focus on clean composition, clarity, and thoughtful editing. I don't take multiple versions of the same image just to offer options, unless specifically requested on site, and I don't default to exaggerated wide angles that distort the property. My work is intentional and tailored. Are there subtle disses? Yes. I'm sorry. I mean, you tell me in the comments. You think I'm wrong, you think I'm wrong. I think this guy... Whatever. Let me just continue. This is what I was going to say. So I sent a long email, yes. I thought about just calling him. I thought about texting him. But I wanted this to be written down because I had a feeling he was going to do what he did. Regarding, this is the same email I sent to him. Regarding the Zillow listing you referenced, it appears to have been photographed in a broad, generalist style. likely by someone following a capture everything and decide later approach. That may align with your stylistic preference, but it's not how I shoot. My approach avoids distortion and clutter and is designed to highlight a space's strengths through clarity, balance, and flow. That's also why not every photo taken is delivered. Editing every frame would be redundant, dilute the final product, and waste time on both ends. Also, usually I would add Fire, Netflix logos, things like that for anyone that wants it. Not this guy. Do I say that it's standard? No. So this is what I said. Additionally, items like adding fire to fireplaces or ID labeling drone shots is not a part of my standard deliverables. If those elements are important, they should be communicated in advance or handled separately. I've been photographing, and this, I didn't have to add this, but also I felt like he needed to know. I've been photographing real estate and design for over 10 years, working with top agents, developers, and designers across the country. And my experience, especially when working with seasoned luxury professionals, expectations are communicated clearly beforehand, not retroactively framed as errors. That level of alignment is essential to a smooth, respectful collaboration. With that, the project is now complete. I won't be taking on any future work with you. I wish you the best. This is email war. I've never done that before in my life, just so you know. It's just this one guy, he's just kidding me. And so then this is where he really, yeah, it's almost done. I'm just going to read you his long email, and then I got a short one I sent. He says, "Thank you for your response. I wanted to give you the opportunity for feedback and growth, giving you another chance, as I believe in that. And you opted to get defensive and aggressive while dismissing the client's feedback. The owner," oh yeah, he told me the owner hated the photos. What does the owner fucking know? I mean, people do this, is a thing, but most real estate agents know that it's a thing owners do. Like, owners are not professional photographers. And so what you should do is tell the owner, this, let the photographer handle it. I'm not saying they never have a point, but it's just funny he said that. Okay, you get defensive and aggressive while dismissing the client's feedback. You can call my email defensive. It's not aggressive. He has been aggressive. So he's, I think, projecting. Then he says, misogynistic, throwing his wife under the bus with baseless claims. So dumb. "We have worked with photographers for longer than you have been in business, longer than you have been in town. We hired you because blank, whose work you criticized, whereas by contrast, we only critiqued yours in order to make it better. We would have hired others. We went with trust and you dishonored it on many levels. Would you not consider blank a top photographer? What's a top photographer? You can gaslight us all you want with your response. The lack of options offered is not what a commissioned photographer is hired for. There are no formulas, and expectations are to be communicated on your end as well. Good real estate photographer understands architectural styles. You clearly do not. By the way, the red reflecting light in the photo should have been caught. You always have a comeback, an excuse instead of owning an error. No photographer would deliver this like that. Your job as a real estate photographer is to capture as many shots. He's going to tell me what my job is. As many shots as possible, as what all photographers do in this industry and in this town. Curating what we feel is best for the sale of the home is our job, not yours. Unless you routinely sell homes, I was a real estate agent. You do not get to call or curate what's necessary to sell a home. You never communicated the expectation of I shoot my way or take the highway. He put it in quotes like that's what I said. Your lack of understanding of architectural styles or what you consider of value is not relevant. This is commissioned work, not art you shoot on spec and hope to sell. This dude is just crazy, man. I come from a family of artists, and this is all email. And my mother, for instance, exhibits her own paintings that she chooses to paint and sell if there are takers. And when she does commissioned work, the client dictates what's to be painted. Same thing when she designs brochures. When a commissioned work misses the mark, our logo needs revisions based on options provided, that's the assignment. When she paints a landscape or other work, an art lover can choose to buy it or not. You are not the client. The owner of the house as well as the agents that hired you are the clients. I'm getting tired of reading this shit myself. Jesus Christ. Your comment about the drone shots is something that you should have communicated and didn't, as 100% of real estate photographers in town understand the assignment. Every single drone shot ever used by realtors has a property identifier. You didn't disclaim that. You charge more for less. Shoot your own images on your own, but when you're hired to deliver a service, you're not hired for your opinion. I don't know who he thinks I am. We sell homes to or for blue-collar workers as well as celebrities and athletes and treat them all with the same respect. Any other photographer would offer a reshoot for missed items, and it is also not our duty to micromanage every shot. You know when someone treats you like shit and then expects good service? Some people will do that, not me. And you thought we would actually give you more assignments. You use the word professional in your first rebuttal, but this is anything but. He doesn't even say, have a great day. And then, lastly, I just wanted to tie loose ends here. I appreciate you taking the time to share your many thoughts. It's clear we had very different expectations regarding the role of a real estate photographer. I want to clarify that I never spoke down on your other photographer, only referenced stylistic differences to better understand your preference. My goal was never to dismiss feedback, but to clarify my process and respond professionally. That said, the tone and personal accusations in your message crossed the line. Calling me misogynistic, suggesting I gaslight clients, and attacking the integrity of my work is inappropriate and unproductive. It's especially ironic given the property wasn't prepped for photography, something I patiently navigated on site without complaint, despite it affecting my schedule. Professionalism goes both ways, and I take pride in the work I do and the reputation I built. I've always opened to constructive dialogue, but I won't continue a conversation that turns disrespectful. Consider this relationship concluded. I wish you and your team the best in finding a photographer who better suits your expectations. Sincerely. Guys. You know what? I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to take fault in how I can avoid this ever happening again. And then, let me just say this. A couple days later, after this, he tries to do a chargeback. So I delivered drone, floor plan, drone, and photography. Drone and photography was $500. The floor plan was $100. He did a chargeback of $400. I don't know where he got that number. Don't know why he thought that was cool. That was okay. I don't know. And then pretty much the bank automatically takes it. I had to submit all this information to fight against it, all the emails, everything. I was very thorough. And we don't hear back till August. So I'll keep you posted. If I do not win this, I'm going to be pissed. But what this did, and this is what I learned from it. New clients, you need to have a conversation, I think. It's some of these things just happen so fast you feel like you don't really have time to have that conversation, but the thing is it's important. So let them know how you shoot, let them know your process. I thought that I let them know enough, but they didn't even look at my work. They don't even they just use me because the person said they should use me. So they had a different expectation, but I should have been more like, hey, you need to check out my work. These are my terms and conditions, which I didn't have. Now I have terms and conditions. You can check out the link in the description to download it or watch the video I made about terms and conditions. That's also very important. That could have probably saved a lot of headache. I'm trying to think of anything else. Now, if this happens again tomorrow, I'm not going to respond all in depth like that. I had never done it, and he was just being such an asshole, and I felt like he needed someone to just say that what I said to him. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was just my ego, cranking up, flaring up a little bit for old time's sake. It was interesting, entertaining. But ultimately, I just think this guy sucks. There's a reason why they don't do a lot of business. I won't say that. Maybe I'll take that out. I'll take it out. Maybe I'll take it out. Anyways, I hope this was useful, entertaining. This is my nightmare client story. Please tell me your worst client story in the description. Drop the comments, please subscribe. We're gaining subscribers. We want to keep on going. I appreciate you. Hi there. Thanks for watching. If you really liked it, maybe you'll like some of these too. While you decide, here's some music. Enjoy.